Fest à Ottawa, le World Gospel Jam, ça jam, ça jam. Je suis ici avec Reggie Young, un bassiste très connu. So basically what I'm saying is like you're a well-known bassist player. And he's also a producer. So you play for big names like Ezekiel Walker, Jira from Montreal. So how did you make your way there?
Well, one of the first artists that I played with professionally was Timothy Wright, the late Timothy Wright. I started with him back in early to mid '90s, and from playing with him, I got exposed to other artists at the concerts, and they would meet me backstage and say, "Can you come play for us?" And that's kind of how it happened. More of just being out there playing. If you want to be able to play for a lot of big artists and entertainers, you kind of got to get out and get the exposure. If you just sit at home and practice, you'll get good, but won't nobody know you're good. So to make yourself available, be friendly, have a big personality if you can, even if you're kind of quiet and shy like I normally am. When you're around that area and you know you want to get exposure, you kind of got to break out the shell a little bit, just to show people your professionalism and what you can do. But that's how I got started, Timothy Wright.
And we know that shyness doesn't come from God. It said, yeah, in the Bible. My other question is on the same path. Do you have a professional, like diploma in music? Have you studied in music?
I did go to a music college, which is Five Towns Music College in New York, but I didn't finish. I wasn't taking actual performance. I was taking pro audio engineering. So that's bass. I was self-taught, and my family is very musical, brothers and sisters. So I played drums first, and then I switched to bass guitar.
So do you play secular music sometimes?
I I have, yes. I don't now. Just it was a decision that I just kind of made to focus on ministry and try to not mix the two. It got for me personally, it started getting a little uncomfortable the more I got involved with ministry. But I did. I was with some pretty good artists. I was musical director for Faith Evans. I was musical director for Kelly Price, and all of that was about a 5 or 6 year span. Yeah, did all the Arsenio Hall and Motown Live and the Magic Show and the Roseanne. That part of secular music is really fun. Gospel hasn't. It's not there as often. So to be able to tour with an artist like that, you learn so much. Be on those arenas. Yeah.
Last question. What is Gospel Fabulous?
Gospel Fabulous is actually a record company. It's an independent gospel record label that I started. I named it Gospel Fabulous. Gospel obviously identifies what it is. And just fabulous just talks about, like you said, it's being shy, not being part of God. I think we need to be boastful in the Lord. I think we need to be fabulous because the gospel is fabulous. The whole story behind the gospel, if you really think about it, it's just amazing. So it's fabulous. And I think, a good friend of mine, Ty Tribbett, he says this all the time. He'll say, it's time for God's people to stand out. And it really is. It's not to just throw it in people's face, but just be proud. We're proud. That's all. That's what Gospel Fabulous comes from.
Good, good, good. Do you play music full time? And if yes, what do you do? How do you make it? Gospel music. Do you play gospel music full time?
I'm a gospel musician full time. Thank God. God opened that door because what happened was when I was doing secular music, I felt like that's where the money was for just a musician. Not necessarily to be rich because there's very few rich musicians. So the best thing to do is get a degree in something and get just become a professional in something and make some extra money. But if you want to do music full time in gospel, where I'm at in New York, there's not a lot of mega churches, but they're starting to come up all over the place. If you could find a decent sized church home where the pastor understands music ministry and put some maybe funding behind it and can pay you a salary. Right now, that's how I'm surviving. I play at the Lord's Church. Bishop Eric McDaniel is my pastor. First Lady Sabrina McDaniel is a co-pastor. And that's in the Bronx, New York. And they basically, it becomes a job. And you can get a weekly income if you go that route as a musician, which can sustain you. But the problem comes in and I don't have this problem with them, thank God, but if you still want to do concerts, recordings, and go on tour. Now your church home kind of gives you a hard time with missing that Sunday or that Saturday, whichever day you go to church. So I would encourage you, if you don't want to just do secular music, find a church home that will possibly give you a salary for what you do. Don't come in there just demanding I'm worth. Reggie Young said, pay me money. Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Don't do that. Pourquoi? No. Hi, I'm Reggie Young.
Sasha.
Tashima.
Keisha. Tamitra.
And we're Gospel Park. And you're watching Montreal Gospel TV.